In today's video, we're going to be replacing the high pressure fuel pump on the 2015 Chevy Equinox, and this one just has the 2.4 Ecotec motor. The problem that this one was having here is first it had a code of P0172 saying it was running rich. Now there's various other reasons on why your engine could be running rich from a fuel standpoint. However, if you have that code and you also have engine run on, meaning when you turn your car off, it continually tries to run for a second or two where it's kind of struggling to keep the engine running, that basically means you have engine run on and it's probably going to be this high pressure fuel pump. What it does is it internally leaks gasoline into the engine and it causes some of those issues. And not to mention on the earlier models, so I think it was 2010 or 2011, there was a TSB out there that there was premature failure of that high pressure fuel pump and it was leaking too much fuel in the engine and it was also causing some of the timing chain components to wear out quicker. So I know on some of those models there was a policy, and I'll put some of this in the description there. There was a policy number that GM had years ago where under warranty they increased it up to 100,000 miles where they would replace the high pressure fuel pump and the balance shaft because it was prematurely failing. So this is one of those things that, yes, the engine was still running, but if you had this problem, this pump can actually cause far worse problems with your timing chain components because essentially is diluting the oil in there because it's dumping fuel in there. So just don't overlook it. Yes, it might seem like an intimidating job, but I'll show you here today how quickly and easily you can do this yourself at home. The first thing we need to do here is relieve the fuel pressure. So on this model here, GM has two different methods. The preferred is to use a scan tool, but you can also disconnect or remove a couple of the fuses over here for the fuel pump control module. And on this 2015 Chevy Equinox, and this is just a 2.4 LEA motor, the fuses are going to be 46 and 52. You remove those two fuses, start the vehicle, and it should shut off within roughly 5 to 20 seconds. Once it shuts off, then just remove the fuel cap in the back as well. Then we'll move on to removing our pump. Now that we have the fuel pressure relieved, up here on the front of the motor on the right hand side, here's where our fuel pump is going to be, and it's behind this cover here. And I do have the throttle body and some of the air cleaner and stuff removed as well, just to help, video this here to give a little bit more room, but it's really not required. So the first thing we'll do over here is we'll disconnect this electrical connection. So you're going to see that little red clip on there. You need to make sure you first pull that back. And once you have that pulled back, push down on the connector and it should release. Next we'll remove this cover off of our pump. So just release this wiring off the front. Then you're going to have a couple 10 mil bolts. So you got two over here and you got one nut on the bottom. There's the one on the bottom. And after you get those loosened up, you should be able to pull this cover straight off. Oh, there's actually one more here holding on that line. And it's just a push pin here on the side, so just pull that off as well. Then you should be able to pull this cover straight off. Just remove this foam thing here as well. Then we'll remove the low pressure line here. So first we'll remove this cap and we'll just press in that Schrader valve there one more time just to make sure any pressure is relieved. Then remove this cap here. We'll just clean this up just a little bit. Then take your fuel line disconnect tool here. I believe this is a 3/8, and you're going to slide it in. Sometimes it won't fully seat, so you got to push the line in a little bit, and you'll see it should lock in place like that. And then when you squeeze these tabs, it'll press those tabs inside there, and it should allow you to pull that line straight back. Just make sure you have a shop towel or something down here because there will be a little bit of fuel that's going to come out of here. And we'll remove our tool. Next, we're going to be removing the high pressure fuel line. One comment on this pipe, so you have a connection here, and this is just going to be a 17 mil wrench that we'll use to disconnect it from our fuel pump here. But the other line in this pipe goes to the fuel rail down there, and that's a one-time use pipe, meaning if you disconnect that, you must replace that. So when we go to install this here in a minute, not only are we replacing our pump, we also must replace that line. And just like on the low side, just make sure you have some towels down here, because you will have a little fuel come out of here when you loosen this up. Alright, so once you feel that stop leaking, then you can gently pull that out. I'm going to just kind of bend that out of the way a little bit. We are replacing it, so that's fine. Alright, so now that we have that disconnected, we'll remove the other side of that pipe here in a minute once we get our pump out of the way here. But before we remove these two bolts, just clean up a little bit of this stuff in here, because you don't want this stuff falling down into the motor. Alright, so after we get that cleaned off a little bit, then we'll loosen up these two 10 mil bolts here. Now, one comment when you're removing this, what GM wants you to do here is loosely do both of these evenly. So you loosen this one up a little bit, loosen this one up a little bit, and you're going to gently wiggle it out evenly. So just make sure you're doing that as you're removing it. We have to do the same process when we go to install the new one as well. So just take your time when you're loosening this up. And you're going to slowly start seeing it separate from the engine there. But just keep repeating the process here. Alright, so once it's about out of there, we'll go ahead and we'll remove these bolts all the way. Alright, then we'll remove the pump and remove the gasket. Then we also need to look in here and we need to remove that roller out of there. So typically what you can do is get a magnet like that, and then it'll come straight out. And what GM wants you to do on this is they want you to clean this piece up, and they also want you to lubricate this with some fresh oil. And obviously if there's any damage on the roller or anything in here, make sure you replace it. But this one looks usually fine on this motor, but we definitely want to clean this up and put some fresh engine oil on this. Then also clean out inside here as well. And you want to clean this entire hole inside here. Alright, so after you get that cleaned up, then also clean the mating surface here for our gasket. And just make sure if you're using the tool, use a gasket scraper like this so you're not gouging that housing there where our gasket needs to sit. Alright, so after we get that cleaned out, just take a little fresh oil on your hand and we'll lubricate that hole inside there. Next, we'll loosen up this other side of our high pressure fuel line, and we'll remove this all the way so we can replace this. And again, just put a towel down there to collect some of that fuel that's going to leak out of there. Then remove that line altogether. Moving on to the install, we'll first start with our pipe down here, and I'm going to be using the GM Genuine part, and I'll put links in the description to this. So we'll remove these caps. And just hand tighten it on there initially, just to make sure you're not cross threading it. Then take your 17 mil, and then we'll tighten this up. You don't have to get really wild with tightening it up. That should be good for now. Moving on to the installation of the pump, the first thing we need to do is we need to use one of these alignment tools, and this is just the Kentmore one that I have there, and there's the part number. It's 48896. There's other alternatives out there to these, and I'll put some links in the description. But you need to make sure you use this in order to make sure that this is at full base circle is what GM says. So first lubricate this with a little bit of engine oil. And if we slide that in here, and I'll give you a close-up, you can see that it's not flush with the engine. We need to make sure that that is flushed. Once it's flushed, then that's in the right orientation for that camshaft lobe in the back that we can put our pump in here. So because ours isn't flushed right here and we have a gap, we need to go over there and we need to gently rotate the engine clockwise until we get that to be flush. And here's a close-up. See that little gap right there that we have with our tool? That needs to be completely flush. And all you have to do to rotate the engine, just get a 21 mil, go down there on the harmonic balancer, and just gently rotate it. Just make sure you're turning it clockwise. Alright, so I just rotated it, but I can still see that it didn't go in very far. So just keep doing this. Now, it's a little bit of trial and error. Obviously, if you have a helper here, it's a little bit easier where they can just sit up here and watch it and apply a little bit of pressure and make sure that it's fully seated when you get to that. But if you're doing this yourself, just rotate a little bit, come back up here and see if it's flush. So if you remember before, we had that little gap. It was sticking out about like that. So now that we can see that that tool is completely flush with the engine, and GM calls that the camshaft lobe is in the base circle position, but essentially all that means is your tool is flush with your engine. Once that's confirmed here, we can remove the tool, then we can begin the fuel pump installation process. Moving on to the installation of the pump, first we'll clean this out one last time here. Then take this roller and make sure you lubricate it with some fresh engine oil. And you're going to notice that little notch there. That notch needs to align with the notch on the bottom. And then just push it all the way back like that. Then take your new pump, and again I'm just going to be using the GM one here, and first lubricate this O-ring right here with a little bit of fresh engine oil. And we'll gently set this in place. And just hand tighten this just a little bit just to get it held in place here. Do not start tightening these because there is a process that GM wants you to follow here to get this installed. Now that we have it sitting in place there and it's not pushed all the way back, because there is going to be a little bit of force that's required to get this installed according to the GM manual. And what they want you to do is gently tighten both sides evenly, meaning tighten a little bit over here, then do the same thing over there and keep alternating back and forth. And there is going to be a little bit of force, but if it's excessive, then you need to make sure it's lined up, but it should go in there pretty easily if you evenly tighten it up. And also make sure your gasket is still in place there as well. Then after you have it hand tightened on there, then we'll do the final torque on these, and it's going to be 11 foot-pounds. And again, just follow that same process where you're doing it evenly on both sides. Alright, so there's the 11 foot-pounds. Now that we have the pump installed, moving on to installing the fuel line. So first, starting down here with our high pressure line. Just very important, just make sure you're hand threading this on there to make sure you're not cross threading it. And sometimes it helps if you kind of just wiggle that line on the bottom while you're doing this, just to verify it's going in there smooth. Once you verify that it is going on correctly, then we can get our 17 mil and tighten it up the rest of the way. And again, you don't have to over tighten this, just gently snug it up. Then once you snug that one, then we'll do one final tighten on this bottom one as well. Alright, so that should be good with the high pressure fuel lines, and then we'll move on to the low pressure side. So first, remove this cap. Then you should just be able to push it in until you hear it snap. Like that, and just verify it won't come out of there. Then take this retaining clip. And make sure that snaps in place as well. Then we're done with the low pressure line. Then we'll install the bracket. So first, put this cover back on here. And then once you have that position in place, tighten up the 10 mil nut on the bottom and then the 2 10 mil on the side. And tighten up all 3 of these. And reattach this electrical connector. So first, make sure it goes in the first snap, then snap in that red piece on the bottom. Then the last thing we need to do is just reattach the push pin here on the side, and also the push pin here on this wiring on the front. Alright, so after you get those wiring push pins installed on the side of the bracket, you've completed placing your pump. The last couple things we need to do here, so the first thing you need to do is we're going to check for leaks. In order to do that, we need to prime the pump. So go in the vehicle, turn the key on in the run position, do not start it yet. Come back over here and double check your low side and your high side lines, make sure those aren't leaking, and likewise make sure there's no fuel leaking from your pump. Once that looks good, turn it back off, then prime it once more. After you prime it that second time, go ahead and start it and then do one final check to make sure there's no leaks. If that looks good, turn the vehicle off. Then the last thing we need to do is change the engine oil and the oil filter. And the reason you need to do this is typically when these go bad, they're leaking fuel inside the engine crankcase. So you have engine oil and fuel mixed in there. So you want to make sure you drain all that old oil out, do a fresh oil change, and then you've completed the job here. So hopefully this helped you out if you're curious on what you got to do to get one of these high pressure fuel pumps installed on the 2.4 Ecotec. If it did, please give me the thumbs up. If you're interested in more content like this, please hit that subscribe. But again, I hope this helped you out, and thanks for watching.